Hello YouTube, W211 guy here, and we're going to be working on this W211 again, OM642 diesel. We're going to go through and we're going to be replacing some stuff today. Alright, well, let's get to it. The first step you'll need to do is remove this engine cover. And then after that, you wonder, how am I going to do all this with all this awesomeness? Well, we'll go over that here in just a moment. And this is what we're going to be replacing today. It's the drive belt. We'll go through, get it put on there. This one's real nice here, Continental. Gotta love it. Made in Germany. And yeah, this is got it from FCP Euro, so lifetime free replacement. Let's get it put on. So the first step we'll need to do on this is we're going to need to remove this front cover so we can get access. Behind here is the drive belt, and we're going to be changing that today. And we'll go from here. We're going to need to remove this cover. On this cover, you got a bolt here and a bolt here. This is probably the right bolt. This one's been replaced with just a hex head. But with the one, you'll need an E10 to remove this one over here. And we'll go about removing this, and then we'll come back, we'll take this cover off in a moment. And then with the front cover removed, you can just barely see back here is the belt. So how are we going to get that out of there? Well, we got to take this little resonator off and go from there. All right, let's get to it. Now to remove this resonator, there is a bolt right there, which I've already started to remove a little bit. And then look back, there's one right there. Need to remove that one as well. And then to undo it, it's got this clip here. Next clip, metal clip, you gotta pull it down, just like we did on the other pipe. And then right here, it's got a screw, you gotta take that out, pull this out, and then pull the resonator out. Well, let's get that pulled out. Now we got the two bolts out that were holding in the resonator. Now we need to go through and remove the clip. It's right here, this metal clip. As you can see, this little notch right here. We'll try and get a pick in there or a flathead screwdriver to pull the clip. We need to get this clip off of this intercooler hose here, and then we got to take this out to be able to pull this off and then get this resonator out of here. All right, so like I said, we got to try and remove this pin from this resonator to disconnect it from the intercooler hose. And I think we just got it. Oh. And just like that, we got the pin off. Now we just need to remove this right here, and then we can remove the resonator. All right. Now for removing this, it is a T20 to go through and remove this. We're gonna get it on there good. We got our T20, got our screw out. Now we're going to pull off this collar. And we're going to pull this down. All right. And now that's out of the way. Now we're going to go through and do some more. All right. And since we already undid the ring and everything, yep, here is the resonator. Let's see if we can even get it out from the top, because it does not look like it wants to come out the top. It looks like it probably needs to come out through the bottom, which in order to do that, we need to pull off that bottom tray. But with that out of the way, we have access more to this serpentine belt right here. We can go through and get that serpentine belt replaced. All right. All right, now if you see down there, right here, is where we need to get our ratchet. It's a 17 millimeter multi-point socket. And if you have a belt wrench tool, could come in handy right here. I'm just going to use what I have anyway. Not much of a fucking change. And now if you look here, I've actually taken and I've stuck a screwdriver, because I didn't have a bolt that would fit in there, a really small thin screwdriver in there, and it's holding the tension on the tensioner. I can go ahead and remove my pry bar-ish ratchet thing there, and I'm going to go through, I'm going to get the new belt and I'm going to start routing it where the old belt was, just to make it easier. I'll see if I can find a diagram to link up to it, and we'll go there. And then after you're done routing the belt, getting it all put up there and routed, you do need to take off the guard that's right here. That was what would hold the front engine cover on. You do have to remove that to actually get the belt on and off. But once you're done with that, installation is just the reverse of removal. Y'all have a great day.